Kazimir Malevich. Kazimir Malevich, 1879–1935, was a Russian avant-garde artist and a key figure in the development of abstract art. He was born in Kiev, Ukraine, then part of the Russian Empire. Kazimir Malevich studied at the Moscow School of Painting, Sculpture, and Architecture from 1904 to 1910. His early works were influenced by various artistic movements, including Impressionism and Fauvism. In the years leading up to World War I, Malevich's style evolved, and he became associated with Cubism and Futurism. He was inspired by the dynamic energy of modern life and began incorporating geometric shapes and angular forms into his paintings. Malevich was the artist who led Cubism to absolute geometric abstraction. Malevich is best known for founding the art movement called Suprematism in 1915. Suprematism derived its name from the Latin term supremus, signifying the highest or excellent. This movement rejected representational forms in favor of geometric abstraction, emphasizing the purity of form and color. Malevich believed that art should transcend the material world and connect with the spiritual. Suprematism, as articulated by Malevich, is characterized as the supremacy of pure emotion in creative art. The square, deemed the most fundamental and supreme artistic element according to suprematism, became the primary means through which this supremacy found expression. Malevich's most famous work is Black Square, which is considered one of the iconic works of abstract art. Beyond the square, Malevich used various shapes to convey intricate emotional states. Thus, the square was followed by the incorporation of the circle, the triangle, juxtaposed identical squares, and unequally sized squares balanced by color distinctions. As of 1916, he began to include curved shapes, lines, and a kind of a third dimension, particularly by allowing the edges of his planes to blend in with the depth. Notably, Malevich introduced a limited yet impactful color palette of black, red, gray, and white, encompassing not only primary and complementary tones but also mixed hues. It's essential to note that Malevich was a devout believer of the Christian religion, a theme reflected in his paintings wherein figures were often depicted to form a cross, adding a layer of spiritual significance to his avant-garde contributions. Malevich initially welcomed the Russian Revolution in 1917, believing it would lead to a new, more spiritual society. However, his avant-garde ideas fell out of favor as the Soviet government increasingly embraced socialist realism. Malevich faced criticism, and his work was suppressed. In the 1920s, Malevich distanced himself from suprematism and returned to more traditional forms of art. Malevich's suprematist ideas had a lasting impact on the development of abstract and minimalist art. Artists such as Piet Mondrian and Theo van Doesburg, founders of the De Stijl movement, were influenced by Malevich's geometric abstraction. Additionally, Malevich's ideas resonate with later movements like minimalism and conceptual art.